Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is May 7th, 2022. And as we are right here at the 74th birthday of Israel on IR 5 on the Hebrew calendar, and it is also the 17th day of Iyar on the Enoch calendar. So we have a conjunction of Israel's birthday, Israel's 74th birthday, on the day that the flood begins, May 6th and 7th, 2022. And as we have been watching this day, one thing I had shared with you previous was that the 1290 days, as it says in Daniel 12:11, from the day of the Abomination, there will be 1290 days. So the interesting thing about this is that if you go from May 6th and 7th, which is the day the flood started on the Enoch calendar, and you go forward 1290 days, it brings us to Chesvan 27, which is the day the flood ended according to Jewish tradition. Okay? So you have a connection between the beginning of the flood and the end of the flood, even though we're looking at two different calendars between the Enoch calendar and the Jewish tradition Hebrew calendar. The other thing that I had not mentioned previous to this, and someone brought this to my attention about a week or so ago in a comment, that 1,335 days before May 6th and 7th was September 10th, 2018, the Feast of Trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets of 2018, Yom Teruah, Tishri 1, Feast of Trumpets 2018, 1,335 days. Now, all of this looks really interesting, very possible, okay? But the other thing that I got to thinking about, and I'm thinking about this now because we're right here on May 6th and May 7th. We're still not over their actual anniversary day, May 7th, which would be at sunset later tonight. Saturday evening, May 7th going into May 8th would be the end of IR 5, would be the end of their 74th birthday. And so I'm sitting here thinking about all of this, and I'm wondering what could be another possibility within all of this. Now, the other thing that Daniel tells us, that from the date of the Abomination, there will be 1,290 days. But then Revelation says that the woman is taken into the wilderness for 1,260 days, okay? 1,260 days. So there's a 30-day difference between the Abomination happening 1,290 days, but then the woman being taken into the wilderness for only 1,260 days. So if we were to take into consideration the 30-day difference, what would that look like? And it just got me thinking that 30 days exactly from Israel's 74th birthday, okay, is Pentecost, Shavuot. So we're looking at today, We want it to be today. We don't want to be here another 30 days. Okay? But let us consider this detail here. Okay, so let's say we have a timeline that begins on the Feast of Trumpets in 2018. Number one, 2018 was the 70th year of Israel, and between their 70th birthday, well, really, the highest watch began Feast of Trumpets 2017 with the Revelation 12 sign. Then we had Israel's birthday on May 14th, 2018. And then we had the Feast of Trumpets 2018 because the 70 years were fulfilled, and now we have to wait for the Feast of Trumpets. So we've got the Feast of Trumpets of 2018 as a high watch marker, and what could become the beginning of this timeline, the beginning of the 7 years. Okay, the beginning of the 7 years, even though it was not the beginning of the Great Tribulation, it was not the rapture of the church at the beginning of the 7 years, but the 7 years began somewhere between 2017 and 2018, and the Revelation 12 sign and the uptick of all the signs and all the disasters and all the warnings and everything that was happening in the world, really 2017, 2018 is very, very marked out, as you know, especially with the 7-year difference in the two great American eclipses, between the Great American Eclipse and the Revelation 12 sign, and then the 70th birthday of Israel on May 14th, 2018. Now we come to the Feast of Trumpets in 2018. Okay, so let's say that's a beginning marker in our 7-year period. So what do we have then? Okay, we've got, from Feast of Trumpets 2018, we've got 1,335 days to Israel's 74th birthday, May 6th and 7th, 2022. We've got 1,335 days. This is also on the Enoch calendar, Ayar 17, the day the flood began. Then we've got 30 days more, which is the difference between the 1,290 and the 1,260 days. So we're fulfilling both of the 1,290 and the 1,260 days from Israel's 74th birthday. We've got 1,290 days to Chesvan 27, and then from Pentecost, Shavuot, on June 5th and 6th, 2022, we've got the 1,260 days of the woman fleeing into the wilderness. Okay, so we've got the 1,335 days covered, we've got the 1,260 days covered, and we've got the 1,290 days covered. And the marker then is the 74th birthday of Israel as the beginning of the 1,290 days, but then there's a 30-day difference, and the 1,260 days begin on Pentecost, Shavuot, June 5th and June 6th, 2022. Now, this is the thing, okay? And this is the timeline I'm watching. This will be, if we're still here tomorrow, okay, because you know this would be the best thing right here, to be gone tonight. Okay, I mean, we're looking at what I've shared with you is the end of the fig tree generation. We've got 70 years. And we've got the 4 years. So we've got the 74th anniversary of Israel. But then the other part of the whole prophecy of Daniel is the 70 weeks are determined. And we've got the 70 weeks. And the connection to Pentecost, the Feast of Weeks. So it's the 70th plus the 4th plus coming to Pentecost. So it could be the exact day of their anniversary, of their birthday celebration, of their Independence Day on May 6th and 7th, or it could be 30 days, and there's a 30-day difference here, okay? So whether it's tonight or today or tonight, yet, or there's a 30-day difference in this timeline. And it's the difference between the 1290 and the 1260 days. Okay, so I just wanted to share this with you, that I believe that if we go past tonight, which I'm still hopeful for tonight, but the closer we get, I'm just trying to consider where we are and what could be next. And I'm not saying I have the answers and I have to be right. Everybody's got their own opinion, and there's thousands of channels. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to come off by saying I know the day or the hour. I mean, I'm searching, and we can all speculate, we can all search, we can all hope, we can all consider, and we can all share. We're free to share what we are feeling. Okay, but what I do not want to come out and say, this has to be the day, and this is why you should listen to my channel. Okay, I'm just one guy. Okay, I'm just one voice. I'm just one person. I have a call from God. I believe that I'm fulfilling my call from God, but we will not know what that all means until it's over. And then we'll know why we were called to do what we felt we were called to do, And so I feel like I've been called to search for this day. The Lord gave me a sign with a date, with an hour, with a time. Okay, and the sign came, my sign came on the day and hour that God showed me the sign would come. And this is the beginning of my journey that took place way back in December of 2012. And we're going on 10 years now that I continue to search, continue to wait, continue to hope. I would have never imagined that from 2012 we'd still be here in 2022. My goodness. But here we are. So, and, I respect everybody's right to consider, and the very great possibility about May 14th, May 15th, May 16th. That's not my perspective as to why, where I think we would go next. And so I'm not going to follow that line of thinking at this point. Okay, at this point, I think we have something very significant. I think we're coming up, Pentecost, okay? And I shared this earlier in a comment in my community section, and I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. Now, the last statement that Barack Obama made at his Correspondents' Dinner on April 30th, 2016, his last statement, his closing line, drop the mic, okay? Drop the mic. This was Barack Obama's last statement. He didn't say it, but he did it. He dropped the mic. Two hands, two fingers to his lips. Scout's honor, my promise. And Obama out, dropped the mic. And this is very interesting that this also would apply to Pentecost of 2022. Sorry about that. And this would also apply to Pentecost, Shavuot, on June 6th, 2022. 666. So is this going to be the final drop the mic moment, just as Barack Obama said, drop the mic. 666. Okay, so I just wanted to share all of these things with you. I mean, we're all weary, we're all hoping, we're all longing. The sooner the better. And you know, I have my reasons. I'm watching Israel's 74th birthday. I think the fig tree generation is tied to it. We've got all of these other connections tied to it. It is a 30-day difference between May 6th and 7th to June 5th and June 6th, Shavuot. So is this the 30-day difference? Are we entering in? This is a prophetic time now. If this is the time we are entering into, then we may be seeing now what is going to become the final and the true abomination of desolation that Jesus told us to look for. I mean, Jesus told us in Matthew 24:15, when you see the abomination of desolation, according to the prophet Daniel. Now, many people say he was talking to the Jews. Was Jesus talking to the Jews? He brought his own disciples up to the mountain, alone, apart. He was not talking to the multitudes. He was not talking to the public. He was talking to his disciples. In Matthew chapter 24, he was talking to his disciples. Why do people always say that Jesus was talking to the Jews? That doesn't apply to us. That's ridiculous. Jesus told them what to look for when you see the abomination of desolation, according to the prophet Daniel. And then Daniel tells us that from the abomination there will be 1,290 days. And in Revelation it's told us that the woman flees for 1,260 days. So is there a 30-day difference between the two? And now, is this the 30-day time that is starting right now? 30 days. See, we've got a timeline that fits it. It starts at the Feast of Trumpets. 1,335 days, beginning the 1,290 days, 30 more days, starting the 1,260 days, which would be the rapture of the church on Pentecost, Shavuot, okay? So, we don't know yet. We won't know for sure until that day comes, right? Until it happens, we're like, wow. Maybe we understood something. Maybe we were close. Maybe we were like, I think it could be Pentecost. And then when it happens, it's like, wow, I was able to understand at least something. You know, there's a reason why we've come to this point. I mean, God is not wrong in the way he's given us the prophecies. We've been wrong in the way we're interpreting them. And that's why we have to continually go back to the drawing board, continually search. You know, we're not trying to change our story and where we've been. I mean, there's a reason why what we were thinking in the past did not happen. Now we continue on and we continue to search. So that's all I have to say. I'm going to close now, but we're hoping for today, yesterday, tonight, but if not, we've got a 30-day difference between here and Pentecost, and this could be the time that is prophetically marked. And this is what I would just hope we could all consider. And either way, be ready. If we're still here after the blood moon and after Israel's 74th birthday on the Gregorian calendar, that obviously I think Pentecost is going to be on everybody's radar anyway if we go past the blood moon. So this would be the next watch time. And we've got the May 14th and we've got May 16th and we've got this whole next few days that everybody's really hoping for, and that's fine. But if we go past that, June 6th is obviously the next watch time. So if I just wanted to share this. I hope this is not discouraging to anyone. I hope it is a blessing to everyone, and I pray you are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.